Welcome to a new episode of Wow of the World. And this time we're in South America, still on a big world trip. And this city behind me is Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
Previously you saw us in Nature Paradise on the Galapagos Islands. And starting with a long flight we embark on a 2-month journey in Brazil.
During our time in Rio, we're staying in a hostel called Tupiniquim, and it's in the middle of the urban area called Botafogo, with all the big sites of Rio nearby. And there's already one of them that can be spotted from the rooftop terrace.
This backpacker paradise is completely affordable. A lovely breakfast on the rooftop and a private room cost you about 25 bucks. And we can't wait to explore the city.
One thing that's super awesome about Rio is they have a perfect subway system. So you can get almost everywhere with the subway and it's not expensive. So
between 1822 and 1960, Rio used to be the capital of Brazil. Including the suburbs, Rio is home to about 13 million people. It has many different areas, each with their own history and culture, all surrounded by the stunning green mountain landscape.
we start the day with a must visit in Rio, and for that we had to go to Santa Teresa, a district with a special phenomenon. We're going to ride a little yellow, bright antique tram, and it happens to be the oldest tram line in the world, which has been driving continuously since 1877. And it's going to ride over this bridge, and I'm going to be in it.
Did I mention that Jens is totally crazy about trains? So for him, but also for us, this tram ride through time is a must. The tram ride takes about an hour and cost us 20 reais, which is about 4 bucks. A real bargain. The area of the tram station has some interesting sights as well.
We continue our little stroll through the neighborhood of Santa Teresa to find another icon of the city, the Escaderia Celarón. And I think the name doesn't say much, but if you see it, you know what I mean. It's the colorful steps of Rio.
What a shame it turns out that we aren't the only people checking out the stairs today. All kidding aside, this must be the most popular photo spot of Rio.
Well, the stairs are incredibly beautiful. Right, Jens? Today it's time for one of the real highlights of Rio. Literally, because this here on the mountaintop is Cristo Redentor, Christ the Redeemer. And for me this is extra special because after the Taj Mahal, the Chinese Wall, Chichen Itza, the Colosseum, Petra and Machu Picchu, this is for me number 7. It's a world wonder and it's the last one I still had to visit. Isn't he pretty?
You can go up by this historic red train, but on busy days it's a lot faster to take a taxi and a bus. And that's what we do. Then just a little more stairs and oh guys, just look at this. Between 1922 and 1931, it took the Brazilians 9 years to build this 30-meter tall statue on this extraordinary location. From Corcovado's mountaintop at 700 meters, he's looking down over the complete area.
One thing that doesn't have to be expensive in Rio is food. You can eat at the side of the road, where the kitchen is inside and you just sit on the curb. And for like 10 bucks you have a whole table full of food and you share everything. So that's for the 3 of us. And the beers we also share because they're always this size. My size.
Time to take the bus for a change, to another top side of the city.
It's a lovely day and today we visit the Botanical Garden of Rio, the Jardim Botânico. And originally in 1808 this was established as the private herb garden of the Portuguese king. Now it's one of the main attractions for visitors and you can see the entire Brazilian plant world inside. So let's take a little stroll.
The nature is great and all, but the real show is given away by these little monkeys.
On our way back to town we stop at Parque Lage, which is like a city park, but if you're inside it, it feels like you're in the Amazon, deep down in the jungle, with the tall trees, caves, some animals, a day of fun and it's free. Mooi, Jens.
Almost every area has its own football club, and today ours, Botafogo, is playing. All the restaurants are broadcasting on big screens, and luckily they managed to win by 1-0. Yay!
Wow guys, this has been a while. We're in a dormitory with 2 bunk beds. We're in Hostel Cabana Copa, which is in Copacabana, funny name. And I think I'm gonna take this bed, while Jens has already claimed this one. He's watching a movie. Don't fall asleep.
The 2 most famous beaches in Rio are Ipanema and Copacabana. While Ipanema is popular for the rich and famous from all over the world, Copacabana is a beach more for everyone. The 2.5-mile stretch of sand and its broad boulevard might just make this beach the most famous one in the world.
Today we're doing a site that's in walking distance from Botafogo. And the thing behind me is the cable car to the Sugarloaf Mountain. This big mountain has a great view over Rio and this cable car is about 1400 meters long. It's a true icon of Rio that's more than 100 years old.
After breakfast we decide to take an Uber, which is super cheap here by the way. In no time we arrive at the cable car and we're going up.
The first cable car took us to Morro da Urca, but we go on to the next one, to Morro da Pau de Açúcar, which is the Sugar Bread Mountain, the spectacular one behind me. So we were standing on the middle of the Sugarloaf Mountain, and then we realized that our bus was almost leaving on the other side of Rio. So we took an Uber, another Uber, running at the bus station, and we made it just in time. So we're going to Cabo Frio because we're going to be in Brazil for a very long time. Box.
But now we took a bus and drove east along the coast for about 3 hours.
Cabo Frio literally means the cold cape, and this name was given by the Portuguese to this port town because of the cold water. There's a cold current in the Atlantic Ocean carrying water all the way from the South Pole, making it a little bit cold to swim here. But on the other hand, they also call this the Caribbean of Brazil, because of the blue water and the perfect white beaches. In Cabo Frio we are staying in a brand new hotel with a nice view over the bay and on this little fortress that's near the coast on a little island. And that's why they called the hotel Mirante do Forte.
Besides the amazing view, this hotel is also fantastic. For about 50 bucks you have a room including breakfast. And it's the perfect location to explore the beautiful surroundings of Cabo Frio.
We walk to the most beautiful beach that's right in front of the hotel. It's called Praia do Forte, named after the 17th century fortress that's on the rocks in front of the beach.
The fortress of São Mateus was built by the Portuguese in 1620 to protect their riches from pirates. Do you think they knew back then that this would turn out to be a bizarrely beautiful drone spot?
You can walk to the fortress within 10 minutes and you can enter it as well, so let's have a look.
On the beach we meet Spider-Man, whom Jens absolutely adores. I like it when sellers are so creative, so we definitely buy some ice cream from him. Because it's winter, the town is a little bit quiet, But the prices are crazy. You can eat all you want and still stay under 10 bucks.
Just a little south of Cabo Frio there's a peninsula with a beach town called Arraial do Cabo. And from there you can visit some nice beaches and some islands. So today we're gonna make a little boat tour to the most beautiful spots in the neighborhood. Let's go! One of the best spots we're going to visit is the Grotto Azul, and there's only 2 of those in the whole world. It's like a blue cave where you can enter with the boat.
Pack your bags, I got a one-way ticket to explore the world tonight. I want you back, so come with me. Don't look back, I wanna show you the wonders of the universe, girl.
This cave could easily be the setting of a pirate movie. And wow, have you ever seen so many jellyfish?
Baby, so live it up, take it one day at a time. Keep it shining like the stars we see above. I want it to be here by my side, my tropical love.
The next stop we make is on an island called Ilha do Faro, and it's an uninhabited island. Isn't she beautiful?
I wanna leave it all behind. Sailors, it's just you and I.
So I think it's quite accurate that they call this the Caribbean of Brazil. Every beach here is even more beautiful than the other. And by the way, this boat tour only cost us about 10 bucks a person and Jens goes for free. How do they do it?
Sunny Indonesia, don't say no. Sipping on tequila, anything you wanna see, be there in a heartbeat. Just say the words and we can go. We've got just one life, baby, so live it up, take it one day at a time. Keep it shining like the stars we see above. I want it to be here by my side, my tropical love.
So we stopped at the next beach and it's called As Prainhas do Pontal, if I'm saying it right. And this is another perfect beach, guys. Vind je ervan, Jens? We sail a bit through the bay and we end up at Praia do Forno, which is the last stop, but I'll see you soon because we're gonna be in Brazil for a while and then we travel on because we're still on this big world trip. I'll see you soon.
But what I didn't know back then is that Suus had a little dessert in mind for this episode. Dum dum dum.
Before we continue our travels through Brazil, it's time for a little celebration. It's my birthday, yay! And I'm turning 35. Suus has surprised me and taken me to a hotel in Macaé, about a 2 hours drive from Cabo Frio in the east. And I'm standing on the rooftop terrace near the beach on Hyatt Place, Macaé.
What do you guys think of this for a birthday present? Macaé is a town with a fantastic coastline and a very relaxed vibe. We enjoyed 3 days of complete and utter luxury here. And then it's time to really continue our travels. And saying so, it feels like an understatement. We fly about 1600 miles to the most remote part in Brazil. Paradise Island Fernando de Noronha is located in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and is about 10 times smaller than an island like Aruba, for instance.
This island Fernando de Noronha is so small that we can actually walk to our hotel. It's about 20 minutes and we're backpacking, as you can see. And this island is only about 5 square miles big. Amazing. Fernando de Noronha is logically a little bit more expensive than the mainland of Brazil. That's because of the remote location and the quite simple fact that food and goods are a little bit harder to get over here. It's the same with hotels. They can be very exclusive and expensive, but if you look very well, you may find a hidden treasure like this one. We pay like 50 bucks a night, we have a triple room and a swimming pool. Fernando de Noronha is quite famous for the beautiful nature, and especially the white beaches, the blue water and the gigantic rocks surrounding them. Today we pay a visit to Praia da Conceição, which is a central beach and already quite amazing. Just look at it.
Just the walk to Praia da Conceição is already an adventure. But especially with the drone we see some jaw-dropping images. We can see the entire island up here. This unique paradise is inhabited by only 3,000 lucky people. And there's nothing around but the deep blue ocean. A return flight from Recife will cost you about 300 bucks. But be aware that only about 500 people are allowed on the island each day.
Wow guys, it's so freaking hot here on Fernando. We were used to the temperature in Rio, which was already pretty hot, but it's 100 and something degrees here. So you have to look for the shade sometimes. I'm sweating like a polar bear in the Sahara. Kom Jens? Yeah.
A swimming pool here is no luxury, it's a must. We enjoy this feast, even though it might be 2 to 3 times more expensive than the mainland. But hey, you're only here once.
Good morning guys, it's 9 o'clock in the morning and as you can see the sun is already burning hot high in the sky, and we're gonna take a taxi and go to the west side of the island to see some natural beauties, world famous sights. All across Fernando de Noronha you can make some nice hikes. There are walking trails everywhere and especially on the west side. Today we're gonna do the Trilha do Golfinhos, and the Golfinhos are dolphins, so we might see them. And then we're gonna do the Trilha do Sancho, to Sancho Beach, which is the most beautiful one in the world, as voted by TripAdvisor.
Just like the song that you were singing. Ooh, you got me begging. Ooh, you got me. Let me see you walking.
We've reached the end of the first trail and this view is amazing. You see the Baía dos Golfinhos and there are especially a lot of birds. I see frigate birds, some boobies, and this is really an animal paradise.
see many more animals and walk over the high cliffs to Praia do Sancho.
Wow guys, what a way to enter a beach. This steep ladder over here. Jens and Suze, they stayed upstairs. And that's how I came to be on the most beautiful beach in the world, as voted by TripAdvisor.
Finally!
Those two mountains over there in the water are the Dois Irmãos, the two brothers.
On Fernando there are so many beautiful sights to see. I made a small hike this morning just after breakfast to see Mirante Forte Boldro. Just look at this. This is living, and I totally agree. The only side of the island that we haven't seen yet is the south side. And today we're gonna do a really nice trail over there. It's the Atlantic Trail. They call it the Praia Atalaya, which is one of the best beaches, and you can see like natural pools over there.
Unfortunately, the sea today is a bit too rough for snorkeling. Too bad, because the water is full of lemon sharks. Luckily, Praia do Atalaya is also stunning above water.
I can say myself that this is truly a paradise. I'm gonna take a swim because it's freaking hot.
We visit my childhood friend Julio, who has moved to Fortaleza. And from there we travel on to Jericoacoara.
The little town of Jericoacoara is about 200 miles from the big city of Fortaleza. And most people will take this entrance towards Jericoacoara, so we are also making a little stop here and exploring the city. And as it so happens, my friend from home lives here for about 5 years now, so he's gonna show us around.
My childhood friend Julio once went on a trip to Brazil and stayed in Fortaleza, especially for the endless boulevard on the beach where all life takes place.
The road from Fortaleza to Jericoacoara is quite long. First we take this bus for about 5 hours, and then we get transferred onto a four-wheel drive in the dune landscape to head on to Jericoacoara for about 1 hour. One advantage is, when the sun goes down, we stop for dinner.
How great is our entrance on the back of this four-wheel drive. And with the drone we see clearly how this lovely little town suddenly appears between all that sand. The streets of Jericoacoara have a nice hippie/surfer vibe. You can walk around endlessly and enjoy all the delicious food.
In Brazil, you will find that at the real hot spots it's always a little bit more expensive than in the rest of the country. And Jericoacoara is no different. There's little to no local life, and that's why the prices are just a little bit higher, and sometimes you pay like hundreds of euros for a hotel. But we always manage to find a hidden gem, and so did we this time. $65 per night with a swimming pool, which you really need because it's quite hot. Let's do some chilling.
How cozy is this little apartment? But it's about time to go out and explore the area.
The town of Jericoacoara is inside the National Park of Jericoacoara, which is this big area with sand dunes. And we can make two different tours. There's the east side and the west side. Today we're gonna make a little tour along the east side to see some incredible things, and we go with one of those jeeps. So we're standing in line to take a picture with a tree. This must be the most popular tree in Jericoacoara. It's called the sloth tree, and it's like a turned upside down tree, as you can see. The next stop is one of the most popular beaches in Jericoacoara, Praia do Preá. Our next stop is this sick blue swimming hole called Buraco Azul. And in the middle of nowhere, between the sand dunes, all of a sudden you see this. Wow.
The entrance fee to this swimming paradise is only a few bucks, and the food and drinks aren't too expensive either.
The next stop is Paradise Lagoon, and this is about as close to paradise as you can get in Jericoacoara. Laguna Paraíso, and it's also where we're gonna have some lunch. Not bad, right?
The Lagoa do Paraíso has a busy central beach, but a bit more remote there are many local spots. Over there it's much quieter, and best of all, cheaper.
So we make our final stop here on the dune tops, and we see the entire area, the lagoons. It's just like a desert. This trip was seriously worth it. This area of Jericoacoara is spectacular. We saw so many beautiful things. But now We're back at the Pousada, so it's time for a little swim. I'm gonna dive in because it's pretty hot.
You see, this is how I like it, our very own kitchen. Every now and then we just need a healthy meal.
Good morning, guys. I slept like a baby. The weather is perfect and it's time to make a tour along the west side of Jericoacoara, the other tour. Guys, this is pretty spectacular. We're at Mangi Seco and we're gonna cross the river on this little boat, and it has exactly place for one car. So we're gonna go with the car to the other side of the river. So this is something completely different. We're gonna move over to a boat and take a little ride on the Guriu River. And this is something else in the sand dunes because I stepped in the mud here and I was gone. I'll show you.
This is so special. On the boat trip we catch some seahorses. Fortunately, they're not on the menu for lunch. We study them quickly before we throw them back in the water.
We make a little stroll to Mangi Seco, and it's quite a spectacular place because this is what I imagined the earth would look like after all nature has died. And then some people who survived created this little hippie village in the middle of nowhere.
Our little Casanova is once again the biggest attraction here. With his blonde hair he even knows how to get what he wants. A few photos in exchange for some juice and chips. A businessman in the making. With the four-wheel drive we cross the dunes to a very inventive attraction full of adrenaline. This is really so awesome to do.
Pina colada!
And then we do some chilling at Lagoa Grande, an oasis with nice bars and chill hangouts around the water.
Caipirinha! We're gonna hang out a little bit more in Jeri and then we're gonna move on in Brazil, and we're even gonna visit the rainforest in the Amazon. And after that, of course, the rest of the world, because you know me. I'll see you there.
From there we took the bus that takes us in about 8 hours to an even bigger natural phenomenon. But first we sleep on the edge of Brazil's most unique natural park, in a sleepy town called Barreirinhas.
The last couple of days we did some relaxing at the swimming pool in this nice posada, but now it's time to discover the area, Lençóis Maranhenses, which I've read about so much on the internet and how beautiful it's supposed to be. We're gonna get picked up by a four-wheel drive, so let's go.
Only in the recent years Lençóis Maranhenses has become better known to the public. Especially through Instagram we saw these lagoons in the desert. Because that's what it looks like. By four-wheel drive and ferry we get to the National Park of Lençóis Maranhenses in an hour or two. Wow guys, these roads through the national park are already a sight on their own, because it's like an amusement park in a roller coaster through the sand and the mud and the branches. You have to hide from them sometimes. From the town of Barreirinhas you'll see there are many tours. They will all only cost you about 20 bucks a person.
Lençóis Maranhenses is about a 200-mile stretch of dunes along the north coast of Brazil, and I would describe this as another planet. The ecosystem is so unique and special that this is a must visit for everybody who visits Brazil.
And although it's already very beautiful down here, the drone really shows us what a bizarre place this actually is. The first stop we make is definitely one of the highlights already. This here is Lagoa Azul, the Blue Lagoon.
The best time to visit Lençóis Maranhenses is in our summer. We're here in July and you'll see that the lagoons are beautifully filled up with water. And if you go in January, for instance, you'll see that this place is completely dried out because there hasn't been any rain. So in Lençóis they have a system that works very well. You can do one tour in the morning and then head on to the next tour in the afternoon. And on the way they drop you at this restaurant between the tours, which is probably in the family as well. We're gonna visit Lagoa Bonita next.
At the Brazilian churrascos you often pay a fixed price to fill your plate. In this case about $4.
So we drove a bit to the sand dunes again and we arrive at this giant stairs from where we have this overlook over the sunset, and the biggest dune is also overlooking the Lagoa Bonita. So we're not the only ones here, as you can see.
After a short climb the view is phenomenal. And with all the lagoons nearby, this seems like a tropical swimming paradise.
What a day, guys, in Lençóis Maranhenses. But the sunset might be the highlight of my day, and tomorrow we're gonna see some more, but I wanted to show you this.
When the sun goes down, this looks like a different planet. After climbing back down, we can't imagine a better way to warm up than with
Brazilian pancakes and
Coffee.
A new day and a new tour, and this time towards the small fishing town of Athens.
Something really unique on this beach, we don't know what it is, but everywhere are these little fossils. They look like dried out shellfish, and they're everywhere in the water and on the beach.
So cool!
Baby, I know all your secrets, but you tell me stupid lies. Oh, you think you can escape now and got it all just figured out. You can fake it through the ceiling to the rooftops while I'm leaving.
In this rough environment, you would probably guess that Lenzois is uninhabited. But that's not true, because there are some villages and one of them is Athens, and we're stopped here for lunch. And it seems that the shrimp here is world famous and very good, so let's try that.
We meet another Dutch family and fill the entire table with indeed delicious shrimp. With one last wonderful dive, we say goodbye to this otherworldly beautiful place and sleep one more night in Barreirinhas.
Family backpack is all set to continue our travels. So we're leaving Lençóis Maranhenses to go to São Luís, this old town, and from there we're going on to the Amazon. So keep on watching our travels. We're in Brazil for now, and then the rest of the world.
From São Luís we fly to the city on the edge of the Amazon, Manaus.
Our plane got a little bit delayed, so it's already very late, and we're at Hostel Manaus. It's already dark outside, so we didn't get to see the city yet, but tomorrow we're going on a tour very early, so I'm going to bed and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hostel Manaus is already setting the right atmosphere. The owner, Antonio, is also the guide who takes us on the adventure.
So we spent about 3 hours in the car, and we're now moving over to a boat. This is the Urubu River, and this is gonna be the real adventure. We're going into the jungle and leaving the car behind.
We don't have to wait long for the wildlife as we pass a large group of dolphins. Antonio grew up as a poor kid in this region. Later he bought a piece of land on which he built the most beautiful jungle lodge we ever saw.
So I guess we made it to paradise, guys. We spent about 45 minutes on the boat. We already saw some dolphins, as you saw as well. And we're now in the middle of the jungle. This is Amazon Antonio's lodge, where there are about 10 cabins and we have one of them. We're sleeping here tonight. And I'm on the porch right now, listening to the sounds of the jungle around us. It's amazing. So they showed us around a little bit on Antonio's lodge, and we already saw some beautiful birds, some other animals, a lot of butterflies, lizards. It's all right here. We're in the middle of the jungle. And what they did especially well is they built this little pagoda, and we're now standing on top of it for the most amazing view over the Amazon. You should check this out.
Right after lunch the weather suddenly changes, but not everybody finds this annoying.
Of course, it's completely normal that you have a lot of rain here in the Amazon. It's the tropics. But sometimes it only lasts for 20 minutes and then you can go out again and do everything you want. I don't know if the sun will come out, but we're gonna take a boat and see what's all around here. So we're doing something really exciting. It's piranha fishing, and we actually caught one. How amazing is this?
The funny thing is that the barbecue is already being heated up at the lodge, as we are fishing for the dinner.
We're gonna have a good meal tonight.
Ja, dat is niet lekker. Ik doe hem opeten. Maar als ik hem daar opeten, ben ik al een beetje ziek.
Dinner is served.
Wow guys, what a feast!
How awesome is that, to eat a piranha that you caught yourself in the jungle? It was pretty tasty actually. And now after dinner we go for another boat ride in the dark to see some crocodiles, caimans, and hear the jungle sounds as well, because it's already a zoo out there. And we saw this really big spider.
In the pitch black we shine a flashlight in search of the caimans with their glowing eyes.
Look, that's one over there.
And what about this huge toad? It's really fat, y'all.
This is so awesome, guys. We're in the middle of the river, only the stars above us. And sometimes we see some lights, which are the crocodiles. And the sounds around us is pretty wonderful.
Good morning, guys. When the sun went down yesterday, we went to bed quickly. You don't get a lot of sleep here in the Amazon because there's already another sight to see, and that's the sunrise. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and we're going on a boat to see the beautiful sunrise on the Amazon.
We see some dolphins again and also the crocodiles in the daylight.
We'll leave the boat at the shore here and we're gonna make a little jungle hike. So especially for Jens, this is quite special.
Our guide Leo teaches us how to survive in the jungle and, for example, how to build an animal trap.
The Amazon has a lot of nature, but we must not forget that there are also people living here. And the deeper you go into the jungle, the more traditional the people live. So we're now visiting a family that's making lunch. It's really cool to see.
Hier. Hebben we een feestje?
Ja.
So we're just pedaling around to look for some animals, and we just saw a couple of monkeys over there in the trees.
We already saw capuchin monkeys, and now in the trees some white-faced sakis. So special.
Good morning guys, it's 6 o'clock and nothing beats an early morning jungle walk. The guide is waiting for me, so let's go.
Look, these are agoutis.
The Amazon was truly amazing, and sometimes it just so happens that I don't want to leave, and this is the case with the Amazon. I could go on for a week spotting animals, going on boat rides. This is just into the wild, and it's what I really love to do. But we're going to travel on through Brazil, and I'll see you soon because there's so much more to see. Bye bye, Amazon.
From there we flew to Campo Grande, about a 3-hour drive from Bonito.
The sun is shining and it's time to explore the neighborhood. Let's go to find some beautiful places around Bonito.
In Bonito you can rent a car yourself or use the taxi transfers to the most beautiful places. We do that and the driver takes us everywhere all day for about 30 bucks.
The first activity we're gonna do is already one of the highlights. We drove about 30 minutes towards Nascente Azul, which is a crystal clear water spring inside a park where you can do some good snorkeling. There's this jungle river with crystal clear water where you can see all the underwater life in the jungle, and I'm gonna do that now. And Suus is gonna go later because somebody has to stay with Jens. But for Jens there's also a lot of fun because there's a water park downstairs which we're gonna explore later. Let's go.
There are already many waterfalls to see on the way up. And at the top of the hill I get a wetsuit and a snorkel, and then we walk into the jungle. From this deep dark hole, the source, I swim through the clearest water among the tropical fish.
In total we spent about 1 hour here on the river, and it's so crystal clear that you see so many fish. And even though it's not a lot of different kinds, it's still really an experience in the jungle, between the trees. Yeah, perfect.
And now there are more fun attractions waiting, so quickly back to Jens and Suus.
So the morning was quite exciting with a jungle river snorkeling tour, but now we stay on this park for the afternoon because after lunch we enjoy this natural water park of Nascente Azul.
Bonito is a great place to eat out. We're just in time for a happy hour at Boteco Juanita.
It's a lovely new day and today we visit Estancia Mimosa. It's well known in Brazil as one of the best places of ecotourism. In 1998, this piece of land was bought by a family to protect the nature and bring it back to life. And today we're gonna make a nice walk along some waterfalls, and there are some beautiful animals around here, especially birds.
Bonito is definitely a bird paradise, and we can see that over here. The toucans and parrots are flying all around us and they come really close.
So the first part of the trail we drove on a big truck, and now we continue the trail down to the river, the Mimosa River, where you can watch all the waterfalls from the side. So we're going from up down the river.
The first waterfall with the difficult name Cachoeira do Sinhozinho is the most impressive. Welcome to the set of Jungle Book.
The water is so cold. So we had a little swim and made a little boat trip, and now we're continuing the walk along the riverside to see all the beautiful waterfalls.
This area is incredibly beautiful, and especially with all the animals there. This tour by truck, boat and a guided walk cost us about $50, but the lunch alone is already worth it.
Good morning, guys. I'm up very early. I just got my coffee and some breakfast to go. The lazy asses are still in their beds, but I'm going to the Gruta do Lago Azul. And I'm going alone because it's not allowed for Jens to go in. So I'm gonna see them later to do something else, but I'm very excited.
Take a chance. Live your life for just one.
So we had an early class this morning in school, and now we're gonna take a little walk towards the cave.
Wow guys, this cave is so beautiful. It's just a shame that I cannot swim over here, but I'll live with it. Must be very nice to swim here. Between all that action we're doing around Bonito, it's time for a little relaxing. And for that we're going to Praia da Figueira. There's a beach, a beautiful lagoon and a little water park.
Praia da Figueira is my personal favorite hangout spot. It's not busy, there's a cocktail bar on the beach and the area, well, I love it.
Take a chance, live your life for just one night, no looking back, 'cause tonight will make you right. Keep this feeling, get high. Keep this feeling.
Caipirinha! Guarana!
Água.
What a great beach vibe, guys. So we're going back to the hotel onto the new adventure. Normally we like to book our hotels a little bit last minute. That gives us a little bit of freedom while we travel. But here in Bonito I would really recommend you to book it a little bit more in advance, because it can be very crowded here, and especially in high season. We're here in the high season and we had to move to another hotel, but it's no punishment because Aguas de Bonito is a little resort on the edge of the town and it's amazing. Look at this!
Live your life for just one night, no looking back, 'cause tonight will make you right.
Bonito has mainly a lot of small boutique hotels and guest houses. This small resort is truly a hidden gem, surrounded by nature.
Today is already our last day in Bonito. What a beautiful area. We've been here for 10 days, but we don't leave without visiting this beautiful park a little bit in the north, Saitacore.
Like Estancia Mimosa, Saitacore is an area where nature has been brought back between the farms of Brazil. The waterfalls, but also the many suspension bridges through the rainforest, are spectacular.
That's it for this episode, and we're about to leave Brazil for this year. We're going to make a new adventure on the other side of the world. First Sao Paulo, and then we fly off to Asia. I'll see you there.
Did you know that when you make a stopover with Qatar Airways, you can choose between 4- and 5-star hotels very cheaply? We stay at the Sheraton for about 20 bucks and fly on to Bangkok. Extra exciting for us because my mother is coming to visit. Subscribe, follow us, and I'll see you soon in Thailand. Sawadee ka!